Vague job descriptions not only lead to poor onboarding and gaps in performance, but also to bad recruitment decisions. Hence, your recruitment process needs to start here. The job description needs to be a blueprint for the role, a clear, concise, focused picture of where the person fits into the organization, what is expected of them, and how achievement is measured. CVs contain many fabrications and exaggerations. Using the job description during the interview process provides an unwavering North Star to focus and fall back on in the decision-making process. Job descriptions should evolve with the company, and it is important to revisit them annually to adjust and refocus, and in addition to the static responsibilities, put in place outcomes that speak directly to the company's annual goals. This is an overview of what our job descriptions look like. Later in this module, we'll talk about how to apply this to the different touchpoints of the recruitment process. The purpose is just a short description of why the role exists and the broad overview of what it is responsible for and how it fits into the bigger picture of the organization. We use this in advertising to create excitement in and appeal to people who could potentially fulfill the role. It's important to note that a job description is not an exhaustive list of duties. Now, more than ever, there's an expectation that employees' skills and abilities will be called on beyond the job description. All our job descriptions include this default statement. Your job description is an agile set of focus areas and outcomes which may evolve in the process of automation, growth, restructuring, technological advances, and operational changes. You are, when required, expected to contribute to the growth and sustainability of the organization by participating in ad hoc projects and endeavors. This should be within your scope of skill, competence, and experience. The requirements in order to fulfill the role is broken down into sections, which assists in the screening process as well as during interviews. Once a person is employed, it is also used to guide the learning journey content. Legislative requirements such as the 1UP academic qualification, an assessor certificate, or a certain license or endorsement is sometimes needed as a minimum requirement. Knowledge or skill could include technical knowledge, such as being proficient in a certain technology or system, or holding a key skill such as facilitation. Experience talks to the required work background, time spent in similar roles or industries. Practical aspects include having, for example, your own transport, being physically fit and healthy, or being able to travel. Now we get to the part of the role which tells us what the person will be doing and how this will be measured. This is an excellent guideline during the interview process to determine whether the candidate can actually do the job. Here we are talking about KPIs or KPAs, key performance indicators. We call them objectives and key results. Each role has certain main objectives, usually around 4 to 6, the broad scope of accountability of the role. Each objective has a couple of key results. What are the areas to focus on that will get you to the main objectives? These key results mostly have metrics for success, how to know that you've achieved the key results. The more specific these are, the better. And finally, where possible, the competencies or soft skills most needed to carry out those key results successfully. We use these in the advertising process to describe the type of person needed, as well as during the interview stage as an indication of the person's suitability. The last part of the job role is the culture fit. As you already know, it's not just about whether the person can do the job, but also whether they are the type of person you'd want in your team. For culture fit, you would consider how the candidate would relate to the organization's purpose, for one, which is to educate, empower, and employ. You'd consider whether they share the company values. You'd ask questions to determine whether they'd fit into the culture of the organization as a whole. And lastly, whether they'd be a good fit specifically for your business unit. You can see that the job description plays a valuable part in many aspects of the employee management function, and how without one it would be very hard to make sound recruitment decisions.